That's nice.
Yo, what's up? Ezek here, and this is the Infinix Hot 11s. Kamusta na nga bang performance for this year 2022? Tara, pag-usapan natin. So sa design, una ko napansin about this phone aside sa mismong oval lens, whenever nasisinagan ng ilaw or lighting yung mismong backpart ng phone, nagkakaroon siya ng mga swivel lines that shivers na nagbibigay ng graphite illusion. Which for me, I kind of find that not too appealing, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So sa may upper part, we have a gigantic oblong lens which for me again, hindi siya ganong attractive tingnan. Tapos besides that, we have the fingerprint sensor which I can say naman na responsive and mabilis, kaso placement wise, I kind of find it outdated. Why? Simply because, way back 2 years ago, 2020, ganito na yung placement ng mga fingerprint sensors or placement ng mga fingerprint sensors ng ibang mga phones. In comparison with my Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro after 2 years, nasa may bandang side na yung fingerprint sensor along the power button. However, technically speaking, hindi naman siya totally a deal breaker kasi either way naman is fine, and what matters most is syempre yung mismong performance and speed ng fingerprint sensor, so that's nice. So moving on sa left side, we have the SIM/SD card tray, tapos sa right side, we have the power/volume button, tapos on top, we have the Infinix branding. The future is now.
Wow!
Tapos below naman, we have a speaker, charging port, and the headphone jack. Tapos in front, we have a 6.78-inch display. Tapos, the front camera, which we'll discuss more later, so that's nice. Tapos we have the speaker. At panghuli naman is yung mismong flash, which by the way, it also acts as a charging indicator. Tapos in terms naman sa weight, this phone weighs 204 grams, which in my case, I can say na medyo magaan siya. And this is something naman na common experience sa mga phones na may plastic build. But, I am not generalizing, but in this phone's case, yun nga guys, medyo magaan siya. However, despite that, I can say naman na you can still experience quality and premium feels with this phone, so that's nice. Tapos by means naman sa mismong build, as mentioned kanina, it's made from plastic. So yun, overall I can say na the mismong design is good but not too stylish, but for a budget phone, I can say naman na it's fine and acceptable, so that's nice. So if you will be asking me kung ano yung selling point of this phone, ito ay yung display. So the thing I like about this phone as compared sa Infinix Hot 10s na predecessor ng Hot 11s from a water drop display, which by the way, I hate the most to or nag-transition to a more decent punch hole cutout. Same with the increase ng display resolution from 720p up to 1080p Full HD. And even the peak brightness, it's now bumped to or it's now upgraded or increased to 500 nits. Kaso nga lang, by means sa mismong refresh rate, it retained to 90Hz. But for me naman, to be honest, it's fine. Kasi this is something naman na normalize sa mga budget phone. At the same time, with this amount, I can say naman na both sa navigation and scrolling, smooth pa rin naman. Especially with the help ng 180 touch sampling rate. However, by means naman sa mismong display quality, it is not as good nga lang as compared sa mga AMOLED or higher resolution displays. But based naman sa mismong everyday usage ko with this phone, I can say naman na this phone, the Infinix Hot 11s, can still produce reasonable punchy colors and fine viewing angle. In other words, the quality is something expected or something to be expected sa mga phones with similar price tags. So with this, goods na goods naman for video watching, especially, we have a large immersive screen plus a decent 1080p resolution display, so that's nice. So sa camera naman, this phone has a triple camera setup. So we have a 50 megapixel main camera, 2MP for the depth sensor, 2 megapixels for the AI lens, and 8 megapixels for the front camera. So based on how I see the pictures, I can say naman na they are sharp and detailed comparing to other phones na nagamit ko before. In this case, reasonably punchy naman yung napoproduce ng Infinix Hot 11s. Kaso nga lang, there are times na medyo nagiging dull yung mga pictures. At the same time, napapansin ko na it tends to blur the subject. And that is why, I would highly suggest you guys to be steady whenever you take pictures. Although overall naman, with stable hands and good positioning, especially with the lighting, I am confident enough naman to say na this phone can produce decent shots. Kaso nga lang sa front camera, well, 8 megapixels, so don't expect too much. In my opinion, hindi ganun crispy mga photos produced, which is nothing too surprising naman. At the same time, it tends to have auto exposure / overexposure. Kumbaga in simple terms, tumataas yung brightness kahit hindi ganun bright yung filming situation. Kaya in my case, I would usually take 2 to 3 shots para makuha kong expected or yung inasam kong pictures from this phone. Hey, what's up, Ezek here. So I'm currently filming using the Infinix Hot 10s or Hot 11s rather. So ito yung quality niya, guys. Ayan, let's just say hi. Mama and Papa. Mag-inquire kami for Yeshua's debut. So yun lang. Vlog test of the Infinix Hot 11s. So sa performance naman, this phone is powered by the MediaTek Helio G88 processor na may 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. So sa mismong performance, nothing too surprising. Kasi yung mismong capabilities ng phone is yung typical performance quality na we would experience in line with most budget phones. So since this phone has 90Hz refresh rate as discussed kanina, masasabi ko naman na smooth yung navigation and scrolling, especially sa mga social media platforms mapa Facebook man, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or anything like that, and even switching in between applications. So moving on sa gaming performance naman, I can say naman na this phone, the Infinix Hot 11s, is very dependable for a budget phone. Actually, share ko lang na palagi ko sinasabi na whenever I use mga budget phones for gaming, may parang ahead stereotype na ako na I'll be experiencing mga heavy lags and even mga frame drops. But I want to clarify, I was wrong. Keeping in mind the price tag of this phone, based on my experience, I can say naman na this phone for gaming is fluid for a budget phone. Wala namang ganong mga major lags, frame drops, mga hang, slowdowns, so very ideal for gaming. And yung bonus factor o yung bagay na dumagdag para mas maging maganda yung gaming experience is yung mismong immersive large screen. And that is comprised of the 1080p Full HD display and yung iba pang flashy display specifications like the screen to body ratio PPI and anything that builds the display itself. So sa battery naman, this phone has 5,000 mAh, which in my case, I observed na this phone, the Infinix Hot 11s, can survive a day, 24 hours like no joke, and it can have more battery for the next day or more juice to be used for the next day. Tapos sa charging situation naman, this phone has an 18-watt fast charger, which based on my opinion, I'm just not quite sure kung bakit tinawag na fast charger when in fact na medyo matagal siya mag full charge. So napansin ko, whenever charge ko yung phone from 0 up to 100%, that usually takes 2 hours and 30 minutes to full charge the phone itself. And that for me naman is fine kasi first of all, this phone naman is just a budget phone. At the same time, for a trader naman, though medyo matagal mag-charge, however, looking on the bright side, matagal naman malobat, so that's nice. So yun guys, that's pretty much my review about this phone, the Infinix Hot 11s for this year, 2022. And in case you're planning to buy one, the price ranges from 6,000 pesos to 7,000 pesos, and for that price range, I can say naman na this phone, the Infinix Hot 11s, is practical and ideal bilhin, so that's nice. So yun guys, if you learned something from this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe on this YouTube channel, so thank you very much. So yun guys, that's been it, catch you in the next one. Peace.